Tron Legacy is a gorgeous, shimmering ghost of a great idea. It's a state-of-the-art cinematic engine running on pure, uncut style. It's a film so preoccupied with achieving aesthetic perfection that it forgets to give its characters a soul. And yet, I find myself drawn back to it, again and again. It is a perfect time capsule, a cathedral of light and sound built on the simplest story imaginable. In a world of cynical, cookie-cutter blockbusters, there's something admirable, even noble, in a film that cares more about vibes than narrative. And today, we're going to explore how this beautiful, magnificent failure became one of the most unforgettable experiences in modern sci-fi. Our story begins not in a digital frontier, but in the decidedly analog world of 1989. Kevin Flynn, played in flashback by a then unsettling, now fascinatingly dated de-aged Jeff Bridges, is at the peak of his powers. He's the visionary CEO of Encom, a pioneer of the digital age, and a father telling his young son Sam bedtime stories of a secret world he built inside the computer. He speaks of a digital frontier that will reshape the human condition, a place where a miracle has occurred. Then, he vanishes. Flash forward 20 years, and that son, Sam Flynn, is now a 27-year-old majority shareholder who wants nothing to do with his father's company. He lives in a glorified shipping container, rides a Ducati, and his only interaction with Encom is an annual act of corporate sabotage, a prank where he releases their flagship operating system for free online. He is, in short, the Hollywood cliché of a brilliant rebel haunted by an absent father. A trope so familiar it feels less like a character and more like a placeholder. The plot, as it must, kicks into gear with a mystery. Alan Bradley, Flynn's old friend and the original film's moral compass, gets a pager message from Flynn's long-disconnected arcade. Lured by this digital ghost, Sam investigates the dusty, silent arcade, a beautiful, neon-drenched mausoleum of 80s nostalgia. Behind a hidden door, he discovers his father's secret workshop, a place frozen in time. And in the film's first truly breathtaking moment, he's zapped by a digitizing laser and downloaded, molecule by molecule, into the grid. This is where Tron Legacy stops being a conventional film and becomes a pure sensory experience. Director Joseph Kosinski, with his background in architecture and design, constructs a world of immaculate, obsidian surfaces and pulsating neon. It's a digital landscape that is both beautiful and terrifyingly sterile. Sam is immediately captured and thrust into the games. What follows is a sequence of such audacious spectacle that the film's narrative weaknesses feel for a moment completely irrelevant. The Disc Wars are the first trial. It's a gladiatorial combat of light and shattered data, a ballet of digital death set in a colossal arena where programs are pitted against each other for the amusement of a cheering crowd. The sound design here is impeccable. The hum of the discs, the crystalline shatter as a program is de-resed. It's here we get our first proper look at Clue, the ruler of the grid, a chillingly smooth, digitally de-aged copy of a young Kevin Flynn. Clue is a walking, talking resident of the uncanny valley, a technological gamble that pays off thematically, if not always visually. He is unsettling, not quite real, a perfect digital mask hiding a tyrannical soul. The sequence that follows is even more iconic, the light cycle battle. An update of the 1982 original's most famous scene, this is a masterclass in action choreography and visual effects. The cycles themselves are things of beauty, unfurling from glowing batons into sleek, impossible machines that carve walls of solid light across a multi-leveled arena. The combat is brutal, fast, and utterly exhilarating. It's here that Sam is rescued by the mysterious warrior Quora, a fearless program who whisks him away from the games and into the desolate outlands of the grid. Quora leads Sam to her mentor, the man who's been living in self-imposed exile for 2 decades, the original Kevin Flynn. Here, Jeff Bridges gives a wonderfully strange performance, no longer the swaggering arcade jockey of the first film, but a graying Zen-spouting recluse. He has traded his jumpsuit for a flowing robe and his ambition for a meditative resignation. It is from Flynn that we get the film's central exposition. He explains that Clue, the program he created in his own image to build a perfect system, betrayed him. This is the thematic core of the film, the creator versus his creation. Flynn, in his youth, was arrogant enough to believe that he could design perfection. Clue, as a program, took this directive literally. When a miracle occurred on the grid, the spontaneous emergence of a new sentient life form called isomorphic algorithms, or ISOs, Clue saw them not as a wonder, but as an imperfection, an anomaly in his perfect system. And so, he committed genocide, wiping them out and seizing control of the grid, forcing Flynn into hiding. Flynn's arc is one of regret. He has spent 20 years meditating on the hubris of his younger self, realizing that perfection is impossible, and perhaps undesirable. And in this story, Quorra, played with a wide-eyed innocence by Olivia Wilde, is the last surviving ISO. This is perhaps the film's greatest narrative failing. We are told that the ISOs were a miracle, that they held the key to understanding science, religion, and medicine, but we are never truly shown their significance. Their destruction is a backstory, an event that lacks the emotional weight it desperately needs. Quorra is a charming and capable character, but she functions more as a living MacGuffin and a symbol of lost potential than a fully realized being who carries the memory of a slaughtered people. Sam, driven by a desire to get his father home, ignores Flynn's Zen-like warnings and seeks out an information broker named Zeus. This leads them to the End of Line Club, a pinnacle of the film's aesthetic design. Here we are treated to a cameo by the film's composers, Daft Punk, appearing as DJs in their iconic helmets, spinning the very tracks that give the scene its pulsating life. And then there's Michael Sheen as Castor, the club's proprietor. Sheen delivers a performance of glorious camp extravagance, a digital David Bowie who struts and preens, injecting a much-needed dose of flamboyant energy into the otherwise solemn proceedings. Of course, he betrays them. It's an entirely predictable turn, but it leads to a thrilling action sequence and Kevin Flynn's dramatic re-entry into the conflict, showcasing his godlike power within the system he created. The escape from the club reintroduces us to Tron, or what's left of him. Now known as Rinsler, he is Clue's silent masked enforcer. For fans of the original, seeing the heroic program twisted into a villain is a tragic beat, though its impact is somewhat muted. He is a ghost of a former hero, much like the film itself is a ghost of a more complex story. From here, the film becomes a race for time. The portal that brought Sam into the grid will only stay open for a few hours. Their journey takes them aboard a solar sailor, a deliberate nod to the original, and culminates in a spectacular aerial dogfight. The light jets, like the light cycles, are a triumph of design, and the battle in the stormy digital skies is another moment where pure spectacle reigns supreme. During the fight, Quorra is gravely injured, and Flynn uses his abilities to repair her code, a quiet moment of creation that stands in contrast to Clue's campaign of destruction. The final confrontation takes place at the portal. But it's not a fist fight, it's a battle of philosophies. Clue, holding Flynn's identity disk, the master key to the grid, believes he is fulfilling his purpose by seeking to export his perfect system to the human world. He faces his creator, but Flynn refuses to fight back. Instead, in a final act of selfless sacrifice, he embraces Clue, pulling his rogue creation back into himself. "Goodbye, kiddo," he says to Sam, as he triggers a reintegration that destroys them both in a blinding flash of light. Sam and Quorra escape to the real world just as the portal closes. In the dusty arcade, he saves the system to a memory card and shuts it down. He emerges into the morning light with Quorra, the first ISO to ever enter our world. He takes her for a motorcycle ride, promising to show her a sunrise. It's a quiet, hopeful ending to a loud and often chaotic film. So where does that leave us? Tron Legacy is a film that is almost impossible to dislike, but difficult to fully embrace. Its narrative is thin, its characters are often archetypal stand-ins, and its central emotional conflict between father and son feels underdeveloped. Garrett Hedlund's Sam is a serviceable protagonist, but he's outshined by the sheer presence of Jeff Bridges' dual performance and the vibrant world around him. But what a world it is! The film is a monument to visual and auditory design. From the sleek, minimalist architecture to the iconic costumes and vehicles, every frame is a work of art. And anchoring it all is Daft Punk's legendary score. It is more than just background music. It is the film's heartbeat, a perfect fusion of orchestral and electronic sounds that elevates every scene it touches. Tron Legacy is a beautiful, flawed program. It swings for the fences, prioritizing a unique and immersive sensory experience over a complex narrative. It's a film that proves, in its best moments, that style can be a form of substance. It's a dazzling light show that flickers and fades in the memory, but while it's running, you simply can't look away. It may not be perfect, but as Kevin Flynn himself learns, perfection is overrated.